Welcome to Marxism 101. Today we're going to learn about how the theories of Karl Marx have influenced literature. Have you ever read a book of dystopian fiction? Or maybe a story about how a bunch of normal people overthrew a powerful and corrupt government? What about a story about poor orphans who end up rising into power and having lots of money and advantages? If so, you've probably already been influenced by the theories of Karl Marx, a German-born philosopher who is most famous for his giant beard and for co-authoring a famous pamphlet, the Communist Manifesto. The Communist Manifesto was used to understand many different types of communism as were implemented in the 19th and 20th centuries. Working men of the world unite. So basically, Karl Marx decided to write about class struggle, the difference between those who have money, have power, have high positions in society, versus the have-nots, the people who don't have the advantages that are needed to succeed. He called these people the bourgeois and the proletarians. These people are in constant struggle and have been throughout all of history. Basically, society is like a hierarchy or a pyramid. There are lots of people at the bottom who have no power, and few people at the top who have lots of power and who oppress the people who are on the bottom. According to Marx, it's inevitable in history that one day these people who are on the bottom will eventually rise up to power, overtake the top, and destroy society to create a new utopian world where there is no class struggle, where all people are equal and all people have enough because resources are evenly distributed and there is no want. This classless society is designed to have equality and to make sure that there are no dictators. This obviously didn't always go over so well. If you look at things like communist Russia, communist China, we see that Marx's theories either were wrong or were implemented incorrectly. Anyhow, how does this apply to literature that you're reading in class, or that you might study while you're an English major? First, let's look at what kind of questions you can ask when you're studying literature through a Marxist lens. First, who does the literature benefit? Does the system within the literature benefit those who have not, or those who are somewhere in the middle? Then who gets thrown under the bus? Who gets forgotten about or not talked about? What assumptions are you asked to make about people in the novel? Who's being oppressed? Do these people deserve to be oppressed? Who thinks so? Who doesn't think so? Do they stage a revolution at the end, or is a revolution the point of the novel? An example of this could be something like The Hunger Games, where District 12 kind of kicks everybody's butt. Is a utopian or equal society presented as the ideal at the end of the novel, or throughout the novel as something to work toward? This would be a society where everything is equal, where you don't have to stress anymore about resources. Okay, let's look at some takeaways. First, Karl Marx believed that a revolution was inevitable. This means that when you're reading, you can see whether there are theories of revolution being the only option, of overcoming the upper classes being the only way to be successful. Then we can look at how class struggle is a part of our literature that we cannot ignore. Literature is either written by the people who are on the top or on the bottom, and that's the way it works. Your readings are either being written by the oppressed, the people whose voices are not normally heard and need to be heard, or it's being written by those who are oppressing, those who are trying to get you to believe that being oppressed is the way that people should be. You get to decide if you're complicit in this oppression. Anyway, that's Marxist Literary Theory 101.